The image of man betrays that which distinguishes him from all other beings: his ability to observe himself. It is man's fate that he not only rejoices in what he sees, but is displeased by his faults, physical and mental. Man's urge to civilize compels him to strive for the improvement not only of his material conditions, but of himself as well. To prune and to cultivate. The image of man bears witness to this ambition. Around 1900, eugenics, race hygiene, the idea of improving the human species would become the new century's scientific credo. The message is dramatic. The biological development of man is in conflict with the civilization he has constructed. Hereditary decay, degeneration, leads to doom. In the face of this dilemma, two means of escape are offered: to turn the clock back, to retreat, or to stem the imminent catastrophe with the aid of science. What nature does blindly, slowly, and ruthlessly, man may do providently, quickly, and kindly, says the British scientist Francis Galton. According to Galton, man's evolution is impeded by the fact that inferior people procreate more rapidly. The idea that life, society, the family, can be cultivated like a garden in which the weeds must be distinguished from the useful plants is something that Galton wants to develop into a science. He calls his idea eugenics. Eugenics, the control of natural selection, offers two alternatives: positive eugenics, the improvement of the human species by mating superior individuals, breeding; negative eugenics, preventing people with inferior characteristics from reproducing. If the newborn proves to be a weakling, or if the infant is deformed, the medical staff will afford it a humane death, perhaps with a small dose of morphine, says the German physician Alfred Plutz in 1895. He coins the term race hygiene, positive selection combined with an official weeding out process. Plutz calls for a mobilization to create a new, comprehensive science. Other essential disciplines, almost all of them in fact, would serve race hygiene as auxiliary sciences. the new science develops into an all-embracing confessional movement. In Germany, race hygiene gains popularity. Since the achievements of Darwin, we perceive the world in a new light, the German art journal Pan proclaims, and only a modern aesthetic based on his theory can accurately reflect the aspirations of our times. The object of this praise is Jugendstil, Art Nouveau. The emergence of biological science provides man with a new perspective on life. The concept of degeneration now has an optimistic antithesis: biology as the redeemer of the Western world. The whole world is in bloom, and even art conveys the message. Science seems not only to offer an understanding of nature, but also the ability to intervene and adjust. Everything is biology, and like man himself, society is an organism ruled by its laws. New discoveries and ideas produce new movements and beliefs. Our way of life must be reformed. How one lives, what one eats, the way one dresses reflects biological consciousness. As the new science makes its way into universities, a voluntary army of wild-eyed reformers, racial fanatics, and health zealots rally round the banner of race hygiene. The watchword of the day is eugenics. Throughout the civilized world, race hygiene ideas take root. (1916), an American movie. In the lead role, a physician, his profession in real life as well, Dr. Harry Hazelden, and a deformed baby. Dr. Hazelden spreads the gospel of eugenics in his own way. By refusing life-saving operations on deformed infants, or by making the operation fatal, he campaigns for his ideas. Dr. Hazelden's eugenics crusade makes him the star of his own movie. The climactic scene. Hazelden refuses the child a warming blanket. Dr. Hazelden's campaign aims at liberating America from defective heritage. If man could be induced to fall in love intelligently, if human matings could be placed upon the same level as horse breeding, the most progressive revolution in history could be achieved, says Charles Davenport, the father of the eugenics movement in the United States. Davenport founds an institute for evolutionary research on Long Island and sets up the Eugenics Record Office. His dream is to create a nationwide eugenics register. Davenport trains field workers who visit poorhouses, prisons, and mental wards. His goal is to document and eliminate inferior hereditary characteristics. The champions of eugenics find support in racial theories and concepts of degeneration. The movement gains momentum through an aggressive campaign against blacks and immigrants. Nowhere else does the practice of eugenics score such early successes. In 1907, the world's first compulsory sterilization law is introduced. Over 20 states soon pass similar laws. Tens of thousands are sterilized. In 1922, in the small country of Sweden, the world's first government institute of race biology is established. "12 years later, a unanimous parliament passes a sterilization law. The Institute of Race Biology in Uppsala, under its founder Herman Lundborg, is the center of Swedish race research.